Welcome to the Game Changer. Today is October 17th, 2025. It is a Friday. I want to wish everybody a happy weekend coming up. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. But today's episode is covering a deeply tragic case that has shocked the nation. A father, Jake Harrow, has pled guilty to the murder of his own son. Now, this is breaking news as of yesterday, and the story is heartbreaking. But it also raises serious questions about mental health, accountability, and how the justice system responds to crimes within families. A little background on this case: authorities say the incident happened on or about August 14, 2025. Jake was initially arrested and charged after investigators discovered evidence linking directly to the death of his young son. From the beginning, this case drew national media attention due to the disturbing nature of the crime and the fact that it involved a parent unaliving their child. But as of yesterday, in front of the court, in front of the judge, Jake pled guilty, avoiding a full trial. This plea suggests that the prosecution had a strong case, possibly including forensic evidence, witness statements, or even a confession. By pleading guilty, Jake has waived his right to contest the charges and accepted responsibility for the murder. Now, I just want to play this short video clip for you. This was as it was being released yesterday, the breaking news. This will kind of give you a little bit of background, what's happened and what's going to happen.
And now to this, that surprise guilty plea in the baby Emmanuel Harrow case. The boy's father, Jake Harrow, now admitting to that he murdered his son.
Baby Emmanuel's remains have not been found, and his mother still stands accused as well. KTLA's Andy Rose Ramos live outside the courthouse in Riverside with more. Andy Rose.
Hey guys, yeah, it was just expected to be just another day in court, and it turned into an incredibly surprising one when Jake Harrow changed his not guilty plea into a guilty one, admitting to murdering his very own son.
We just ask if anybody knows anything to please contact the Kuiper Police Department.
A shocking admission today made by 34-year-old Jake Harrow, in tears as he made a surprise guilty plea to killing his 7-month-old son.
He was emotional. His voice broke as he answered the judge's questions.
Press Enterprise reporter Brian Rokos was in the courtroom as it happened.
When the judge said, do you admit to the murder charge, he said, I'm guilty.
The father of baby Emmanuel, who is still missing, entering guilty pleas to 1 count each of murder, child endangerment, and filing a false police report.
In a very surprising and unusual move, he has admitted to guilt to all counts.
The district attorney's office saying today's change was not a plea agreement, but instead Harrow making his guilty pleas directly to the court.
So what he's going to do is tell the judge, I pled early to avoid a horrible, expensive, and painful trial for everybody. I tried to show investigators where the body was buried. I'm taking accountability. Show me mercy.
Also in court today, Jake Harrow's wife, Rebecca, the 41-year-old mother, is maintaining her not guilty plea, including a new charge from the district attorney's office.
And there was a new charge, assault on a child causing injury or death.
Baby Emmanuel was reported missing on August 14. His mother, Rebecca, telling authorities she was attacked outside her car at a store parking lot, reporting a man kidnapped her child. Authorities finding inconsistencies with her statement.
No, he's gone. I can't find him.
Jake and Rebecca Harrow were both arrested in August and initially pleaded not guilty in this case. Brian interviewed Jake in prison just after he was arrested.
He told me that Rebecca was innocent, but wouldn't talk about his role. He wouldn't say whether he was innocent. He wouldn't say whether he was guilty. So that made me think at that point that he had something to admit to.
And Jake Harrow due back here in court come November 3rd to be sentenced. That's the same day that his wife Rebecca is also due here in court for a preliminary hearing. But Michael, we know the big question on everybody's mind is, where is the body of baby Emmanuel? Where are his remains? We have reached out to the Sheriff's Department as well as the district attorney, who tells us they cannot comment on this case because the investigation is still ongoing.
Absolutely unreal. You know, there's been so many red flags in this case since August. It's unbelievable. I'm hoping that through All of this, we find Emmanuel's remains and can give him a proper burial and give some closure to the family. As people are probably wondering, why would he just plead guilty? Well, there's a few reasons. To avoid the death penalty or a harsher sentence. Now in California, the death penalty has been paused while Governor Newsom's in office, so a less harsh sentence, I suppose, one reason. Like the reporter said, to avoid the family the trauma of the trial, or because the evidence is so overwhelming that, again, there's no reason to put the family through the trauma of the trial, put the money into the trial, because unequivocally he's guilty. The court will now move into sentencing, where prosecutors could push for life in prison. Depending on the jurisdiction, he may or may not be eligible for parole. I will tell you this, that regardless of the sentencing, his fate is going to be determined once he steps foot into the prison system to start serving his sentence. There will be repercussions for what he's done. There will be consequences for what he's done. We'll see what those are. The public's reaction to this, the community's been outraged and heartbroken. Friends, neighbors, and extended family members have expressed disbelief that a father could do this. This case has also sparked broader conversations about warning signs of DV and whether intervention could have potentially prevented the tragedy. What happens next, sentencing, will determine Jake's fate. Like I said, ultimately, the prison system is going to determine his fate, but more on that as it comes. But the emotional damage remains. The legal system may bring closure, but for many there are still unanswered questions about motive, mental state, and justice for the victim. This case is a powerful reminder that evil can exist behind closed doors, and that awareness and early intervention are critical. Here at Game Changer, we're going to continue to follow the sentencing and any new developments. Thank you for listening. Stay informed, stay aware, and we'll see you on the next episode. God bless.